हेलो। 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 वेलकम एवरीवन, वेलकम तनवीर भाई। अरे आवाज। Foreman, welcome, welcome, Yashwant, welcome, Vishal, welcome. Great to see you, Swarnam. Uh, Hello, everyone. Till the time we wait for other participants to join, you can go through our social media platforms and our meetup communities. I've shared the link in the chat box. Till the time we wait for the participants to join, go through our social media platforms and our meetup communities. We will start the session in next 10 minutes or maybe 5 minutes. We'll wait for few more participants to join and we'll start the session. Welcome everyone. We'll start the session in next 5 minutes. Start the session by 4, 5. Thank you. Hello, Mahendra sir. Am I audible clearly?
Yes.
Okay. So, hello and welcome everyone. I'm Shuk Parmar, your host for today's webinar. My team and I are here to make sure you have a seamless and engaging experience. If you have any questions or need assistance, feel free to use the chat window. We are here to help. So, the topic for today is DevSecOps with GitLab. So today's webinar is hosted by ADC Community, a hub for enthusiasts passionate about cloud technologies, AI, machine learning, IoT, open source development, and DevOps. So today's event is sponsored by Synergetics. Synergetics is a leading edge learning solutions provider in India, offering specialized training and consulting services. We empower businesses and professionals to thrive in today's fast evolving tech landscape by delivering transformative learning experiences. Our core focus is on enabling digital transformation through innovative skilling programs, advisory services, and end to end implementation support. From modernizing IT frameworks to mastering emerging technologies like AI, cloud computing, and DevOps, Synergetics is committed to equipping you with the tools and knowledge to succeed. These are the learning solutions which are offered by Synergetics, which are persona-based onboarding, onboarding add-on, certification add-on, reskilling, emerging technology training, certification hackathon, cloud adoption, latest technology training, sales, pre-sales training, practice playbook, and architecting. This is the Microsoft certification skilling journey. The journey begins with the fundamental certification, then progresses to advanced role-based certification, and finally to expert level certifications. Also, we run communities on Meetup. This is the emerging technology community. Anyone who are eager to learn about technological knowledge can join this community on Meetup. We have multiple communities in Pune, Gujarat, Nagpur, and Indore. Those who are interested to join this community, please log in to Meetup app and gain your knowledge for free. So it's my pleasure to introduce our speaker, Mr. Mahendra Shinde. Uh, he is with 15 years of experience as a software consultant and trainer. Mr. Mahendra Shinde is an expert in cloud computing, DevOps, and software development. He is a Microsoft certified trainer and has trained hundreds of professionals in Azure, Kubernetes, and DevOps. At Synergetics, he plays a key role in training teams from top companies like L&T, Infotech, Capgemini, and Wipro. His sessions are practical, insightful, and highly valued by professionals. The agenda for this webinar is introduction to GitLab, overview of DevSecOps and its importance, GitLab features and services, GitLab on cloud and on-premise, integrating security checks into CI/CD pipelines, and at last automating security practices in workflows. You have to follow the code of conduct, which will create a respectful environment for all the participants. Participants, please note you are not allowed to take screenshot of the presentation and cannot do screen recording. I would like to take a moment to share information about the certification workshops we conduct at Synergetics. These webinars you have been attending are designed to give you a brief overview and summary of the full course content. However, the actual certification training programs of these courses run over 4 days, and we are currently offering them at a special discounted rate exclusively for webinar attendees. On my screen, you can see the list of in-demand certification courses we are currently focusing on. For more details or to register, I'll share contact with one of my colleague, Mr. Vivek Balasundaram. You can connect with him for more details of this courses. He'll give you every detail you need for this courses. So I'll drop his contact number and email in the chat box once I'm done introducing. All right, everyone, it's time for a quick quiz to make our session a little more interactive and fun. We have 5 questions lined up, and each one will test your knowledge of today's topic. Don't worry, it's all about learning, so think of this as a chance to check how much you have picked up. So, we have the first question. What does DevSecOps stand for? So, guys, quickly drop your answers in the chat box. Okay, so drop your answers in the chat box. I request everyone to answer. Is it option A, B, C, or D? Want everyone to answer. What does DevSecOps stands for? So yes, A is the correct answer. Development, security, and operations is the correct answer. We jump to the next question. What is the main goal of implementing DevSecOps? Quickly drop your answers, guys. Quickly drop your answers in the chat box. One answer. I want everyone to answer. So yes, B is the correct answer to ensure security and integrated throughout the development life cycle. We'll jump to the next question. Which GitLab feature helps automate security testing in the CI/CD pipeline? Quickly drop your answers, guys, in the chat box. Is it A, B, C, or D? Everyone quickly drop your answers. Waiting. So C is the right answer. GitLab static application security testing, SAST. We'll jump to the next question. What is a key benefit of using GitLab for DevSecOps? Is it A, B, C, or D? Quickly drop your answers, guys. I want to see everyone answering. What is the key benefit of using GitLab for DevSecOps? Everyone, please answer. Question, quickly drop your answers in the chat box. So I see many of them answering. Good. Yes, B is the correct answer. Centralized platform for coding, CI/CD, and security integration. We'll jump to the last question. In DevSecOps workflow, when should security testing ideally occur? Quickly drop your answers, guys. This is the last question. Is it A, B, C, or D? Yeah, that's correct. D is the right answer. Continuously throughout the CI/CD process. Hope everyone enjoyed the quiz and do follow us on our social media platforms to get relevant updates on upcoming webinars, workshops, and certification trainings we do. I've already shared the link in the chat box. You can go through all the links to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to me. Now we'll hand over the mic to a speaker, so you can take over from here.
Yeah, thank you, Shuk. Okay, I'll share my screen now. I hope my screen is visible to all of you right now. Okay, so let's continue. In this 2 hour session, we'll discuss what is GitLab and how GitLab could be used for implementing DevSecOps. DevSecOps is basically development, operations, and security combined into a kind of a collaborative manner. So let's discuss this. This is something related to DevOps. Okay, very simple thing. Developers and IT operations. Collaboration between these two is called DevOps. It's basically, you can say, a practice where operations and development engineers participate together for entire service lifecycle, entire product lifecycle. And a typical DevOps workflows actually cover these important stages. Like, for example, if you look at this infinity symbol, which represents DevOps, we start here with planning. Plan, code, build, test, release, and then deploy, operate, and monitor. And then continue again with planning, coding, building, testing, and so on. So this is, as it looks like, it's a never-ending process. Number one, you split your application into multiple iterations. You split your product plan into multiple iterations or multiple sprint. In each sprint, you do plan, implement, test, deploy, right? And then move to the next iteration, move to the next sprint. DevOps is more like a culture, okay? A culture where integration and collaboration between multiple stakeholders is important, right? So first it's a culture, people, then it's process. Process means several workflows, and then the tools. It really doesn't matter which tool you use for implementing DevOps. There are several tools available in market, like GitLab, for example. You can use GitLab, you can use GitHub, you can use Azure DevOps, you can use Jenkins. There are several other tools available, right? But what is more important is collaboration between people and the processes or workflows that we implement. Do you know what are those two workflows? I'll give you a hint. Both the workflows have a common word in the beginning, continuous. Okay. The most common workflows we refer to in DevOps are continuous integration and continuous deployment, or continuous delivery and deployment, you can say. Another aspect of DevOps is automation. Automation means instead of implementing a workflows or instead of running a script manually, you should automate much part of it. Yes, Devesh, that's right. Much part of it. Now, automation doesn't necessarily mean automating only the CI/CD workflows, continuous integration and delivery deployment workflows. You can even automate your infrastructure. Infrastructure provisioning, infrastructure deprovisioning should also be automated. And there are tools available to do that, infrastructure automation. Okay. There is a concept called infrastructure as a code, IAC, where you can define entire infrastructure in a document and then use some automation tool to realize that document or realize that plan into actual resources. Next thing in DevOps is measurement. Measure everything. You should be able to know your exact progress at any point of time. Have you people seen Kanban dashboard? Anyone? You can create Kanban dashboard literally on common wall in your workspace, manual dashboard, or you could use some kind of software to create a dashboard for you, right? And what is benefit of this dashboard? It will allow you to track your progress. It will allow you to track your overall progress of your project. So this is like how Kanban dashboard looks like. There are several services tools available who let you create this type of diagrams. This is basically measurement. At any point of time, you should be aware of how much work is done, how much work is in progress, and how much work is pending. We call it backlog. How much is backlog? Sharing, collaboration, and feedback. So all the stakeholders need to collaborate and provide a feedback back to the other stakeholders. So like, for example, If you are an operations guy and if you are deploying an application on target environment, and if you feel something is odd, you should simply share that feedback with the development team. Or maybe before your development team starts building the product, right? Operations team should notify them about what all infrastructure you will be using at the time of deployment, right? Or else development team might actually build something which is actually incompatible with the target environment when you go for production. So collaboration between the team throughout the execution of product lifecycle is important. That is what DevOps is actually for. It's not just CI/CD, but it is all these things: the process, people, the tool, automation, sharing, and all. So, what are the challenges we are facing, and why we are actually saying that DevOps is going to actually fix, or DevOps is a solution for all these problems? Number one, effects are released into production, causing outage. In traditional software development, let's take an example of waterfall approach. In waterfall development model, we move from one stage to another stage, and it becomes extremely difficult to go back to the previous stage. So what happens, like, you build an application, you did some test, but there were some defects which were not captured by your test. You release them into production, and then they are causing serious outages, serious damages. Now you go back and try to fix them. And while you are trying to fix the defects in production, you have to keep your application down for some time while the fix is getting applied, which will again result in some kind of a downtime. Inability to diagnose production issues quickly. Now, production issues diagnosis, you have a limited time, or you don't have much time for diagnosis when your application is already in production, right? If you are already in production, and if your diagnosis takes, let's say, 1 hour, 2 hours, whatever it might be, that actually adds up to your downtime. So you should be able to diagnose them quickly, because you know what happens next after you diagnose it properly. Next is the solution. Now, if diagnosis itself is taking several hours, after it is completed, implementing a fix might actually take even more. Sometimes it happens that, like, issues occur only in a certain environment and not in all environment. Like, for example, I do remember many years back, there was a team of developers who built a Java web application. And their environment setup was like this. All of the developers were using Windows XP operating system with Java and Tomcat. And finally, when their application was built, it got deployed on Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Now, technically speaking, Java is portable, right? You should be able to build a Java application on Windows desktop machine and run it on Linux server later without any issues. It's portable. Java itself is portable. But you know what happened? When they actually went for the production deployment, it threw multiple exceptions. And the reason was, somewhere inside an application, a developer wrote a code to read a file from C drive. And guess what? There are no C drive, D drives in Linux machine. Rather, drive letters only exist in only exist in DOS and Windows. C drive, D drive, etc. Other operating systems do not have that particular concept. So when application was actually deployed in dev environment, it used to work fine. But when same application was deployed on Red Hat, and there starts blame shifting or finger pointing. Developers saying that no, our application is going to work just fine. We have tested it in our local setup. It worked fine. It must be a production environment issue. And production team says, no, there is an exception. There is a file not found exception, which means something that developers have to fix now, right? Long delays while dev, QR, other team wait for the resources or response from the other team. So many a time it does happen, your application goes from one stage to another stage, and now you are waiting for a feedback. Waiting for a feedback, right? Because unless you don't get a feedback, you can't actually move from stage one to stage two, basically. You cannot move to the next stage because previous stage is the feedback you have not received from this. Now, if you automate much of these processes, the automation tool or automated workflow will immediately send a feedback as soon as the step is over. Most of the time, errors are mentioned as this is a manual error, right? This is the most common root cause. If you might actually get into release a sleep or release fail, like you have released or you have scheduled a software release, let's say on 10th of September, but because of some other issues which are not yet fixed, you cannot now deploy on 10th September, right? You have some pending issues over there, some pending fixes are there. What you should do now? Now the next release is scheduled on, let's say, Jan 1st. Now you have to now wait for Jan 1st. You will do all the changes in the next release. Now this is called release slip. This is what used to happen for traditional approach. And this is why DevOps was introduced. Okay. Uh, One common benefit of DevOps is faster delivery experience. Okay, faster delivery also makes sure that outages can be controlled faster as well. Because most of the time in today's application, if your application had any bug, you know what we do normally? We roll back our application to its last version where the bug didn't appear or did not actually occur. Roll back our application to a last version which worked fine. That will result in certain features, new features not available to user for some time. Then go and fix the latest release. Okay, and after the fix is implemented and tested, roll back the newer version then. Deploy the newer version. Okay, this is basically what we use to call green-blue deployment, right? Or blue-green deployment. Yeah, retaining the talent. This will actually also allow organizations to retain their existing, you can say, technicians, existing team of IT professionals. Okay. DevOps is a relatively new, you can say, technology compared to traditional development. These are the benefits as per State of DevOps report generated in 2017. Organizations who started implementing DevOps, they were able to deploy their application much more times or much more frequently, exactly 46 times more frequently. Okay. They also offered faster lead time for changes. Now, I have a question for you. What is exactly faster lead time for changes? Anyone? Yeah. Faster lead time for changes. That means how fast you can update your application or how fast you can do an update. Faster mean time to recovery. Now, what is mean time to recovery? MTTR. Anyone? As the name suggests, mean time to recovery is how fast you can recover your application from a bug or how fast you can recover application from a downtime, basically. Right. Now, there are several methodologies people use in Agile. I'll just skip that. And then we have this Kanban, which is a digital project management tool that is available through multiple different software products. GitLab is one of them. You can also use Atlassian Jira, or you can use Twilio, or you can use Azure DevOps as your board. How many of you are using Atlassian Jira right now? Yeah. Okay. And how many of you use Twilio as your board? Fine. There are several different products available and they all do implement same thing, Kanban dashboard. There are several ways you can implement Kanban dashboard. You can even create a Kanban dashboard on one of your office wall, right? A physical board, basically. Now GitLab. Now we have discussed enough about about DevOps. Now let's discuss GitLab. GitLab is basically a platform that provides end-to-end DevOps features in one single product. Okay, like for example, those who have used Atlassian Jira, Jira is basically a tool for project management, agile project management, Kanban board, and bug tracking. That's it. Jira do not provide any kind of version control system. Jira doesn't offer CI/CD workflows, nothing, right? And you have to use some other tool along with Jira if you want to implement DevOps. Like for example, many of you might be using Jenkins or Bamboo Server along with Jira, right? For implementing DevOps pipeline. Now it's totally fine to use multiple tools, or it is totally fine to use multi-tool environment where you use one tool for version control, one for project planning and Kanban, and another tool for CI/CD orchestration. That's totally fine. But you know what is challenge here? What's the main challenge if you are using multiple tools for your DevOps implementation? The challenge is integration. You need to get all the tools integrate with each other, all the tools to properly talk with each other, right? Now, on the other hand, what if one single platform offers you everything? GitLab, as a DevOps platform, offers all the tools. Let me show you where you can find more information about GitLab. Here it is, gitlab.com. What kind of product GitLab is? So let's see this here. If you talk about DevOps platform, GitLab is not just DevOps. GitLab is actually considered as a DevSecOps platform. And right here in their platform documentation page, you will notice what all features does it provide or what all different components do it provide. So let's see. Of course, we are not actually going to practically see all these components in GitLab, but we will explore few of them. So GitLab provides some tools for project planning and project management. GitLab provides source control management tool, SCM or version control. GitLab provides orchestration of CI/CD, continuous integration. GitLab provides several security features, several compliance checks, package management or artifact registries, continuous delivery workflows, and not just that, it also offers observability. Observability is for application monitoring, APM, application performance monitoring, basically. So all this is available in a single platform. And you know what is benefit of using one single platform that offers multiple different features? We call it an end-to-end solution. This solution is end-to-end. You don't have to worry about integrating a project planning tool, integrating a version control, integrating a continuous delivery deployment, orchestration, not required. One single tool will offer everything to you. Is there any other tool which offers this type of end-to-end features for DevOps, similar to GitLab? You can use Azure DevOps, okay, and you can also use GitHub. Atlassian to some extent, yes, but please remember Atlassian is the name of vendor, and they do provide several products. Like you might use Atlassian Jira for project tracking, then Atlassian Bamboo Server for CI/CD